the Protoss legend. Top 3 here in Taiwan. Can he do it again? This is ButAlways.
And in the bottom left, in the red, he is also somehow teamless.
What?
This is GogojOey.
Don't understand this world, Zeph. And we're also getting some, lucky or unlucky, depending on your perspective, but we've gotten quite a few rematches. People tuning in today going, hang on, did we have these matches yesterday? Didn't Rex play Expect yesterday? Didn't GogojOey play ButAlways yesterday? Yes, they did. But it's a rematch here in the Deciders match. That's how groups work. They have a double elim. And if the guy that wins that series loses the next series, and then the other guy wins the series after losing the next series, they meet again. GSL groups. That's how it works.
Definitely keeps it interesting, and it makes it difficult to keep your strategies fresh too when you got to do the rematch. I suppose one benefit of the way this format works on our broadcast days is that sometimes you have a gap between your first match and then when you rematch. It's like 24 hours, not a huge deal. But still, it does give you a little bit more time to regroup if that series didn't go your way or it was a little bit harder fought than you thought it was going to be. Yeah, we'll see how things pan out here as this probe blocking the Nat and just checking that the third base did actually go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tale as old as time. The probe blocking the natural hatchery of the Zerg. It is gearing out to be about a 2.5 minute third base for GogojOey in the natural location. And straight into Warp Gate is ButAlways. He is a Stargate boy, though, so normally when the Warp Gate started immediately, it's for, I was going to say, okay, he started Warp Gate in front of the Overlord, cancel it, and went Stargate. He's trying to bamboozle GogojOey a little bit.
Shocking development to see a Stargate there.
Crazy!
I guess the question is, how hard does he commit to it? Is Jagannatha. It is a long map, and it does give us long games, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah, specifically this map, I think if we're going to have a map in the series that goes for 1,000,000 years, it's going to be this one. This map here. That's why I said get your snacks ready. You can't blame me for it, chat. I said get your snacks ready, get comfortable. If you're in the southern hemisphere, get your warm clothes on, and if you're anywhere else, get cool, because it's going to heat up.
It's kind of fun for me to watch GogojOey in this context, meaning as EVP, because I have this weird thing where every time I tune into the Cranky Duckling stream, for any tournament it seems, it's GogojOey versus me and Micah.
Yeah.
Like, legit. Yeah. Those guys play every online cup, and they always match up. And it's always like a 3-2 as well. So...
Yep.
I've seen a lot of his EVZ, but not a whole lot of his EVP in recent times.
The Overlord actually survives the final shot here from that Stalker and confirms the Stargate. So that's good information for GogojOey. He's already had a Spore on the way, but now he can get the second. And we do have the Lings actually nibbling on this gateway here. And they are going to force the Zealot out of the hole because losing the gateway is very annoying.
He's actually following up with just a few more Lings. One, in case of pressure, but two, you could always go back to nibbling at that and being a pest. But, man, cutting it close there.
Yeah, Oracle biting off a little bit more than she can chew, but does escape and is still alive and accumulating energy, ready for another round, and shields as well. Second Oracle heading towards the third hatchery here, I guess the natural hatchery. Void Ray number 1 being made here, Zeph. Stargate number 2, +1 air weapons. Hell yes. I'm so excited for multiple Void Rays. Let's go.
That's it.
Let's go.
Go off, Stargate King.
That's right. Slay, Stargate King. Oh my god. Gonna be lots of laser beams, chat. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. What's the plan here from GogojOey? Obviously, the lair is on the way. Does GogojOey want to slow this game down, let ButAlways get to this unit comp and deal with it in the late game again, like he did last time in Jagannatha? Or, there are other options with the lair. Of course, you can load a worm from down under with queens. Go across the map with it.
Cute creep denial. We have some roaches and lings in production here. And he's not going to be under threat from a ground attack. So it seems to me that you would want to throw those at the third base of the Protoss.
Stasis ward attempt for harassment here on the main mineral line of GogojOey, and oh, just out of range.
Nice. Not too much drama there, and he's starting to rally.
GogojOey's like, not this time. We're going for a walk, boys and girls. Come on, ladies. Join in the kids. Let's go for a ride.
Maybe he wants an earlier bedtime as well. He's going to kick things off with just a bit of Ling. And that is actually going to soak up all that shield battery juice. So going to have to wait for an overcharge there. The Oracles are going to come in and do their best to turbo zap down a few of those Ravages. And it looks like GogojOey just waiting those few extra seconds for the Queens to catch up. They're so painfully slow. This is the whole point of the strategy, is to hit before they have too much.
I think GogojOey's already unconvinced that this is going to do anything. The Queens are marching back. He's got drones coming back again. Hydra Den as well.
Yeah, it took a little too long there because the static defense is finishing up.
Oh, Queen's actually engaging the Void Rays there. I guess they were on A move. Now they've actually committed to this engagement.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that they really have a choice. They're not close enough to creep to keep running. So he's had to run back with the Ravages. He's also attacking with these Lings here and forcing the overcharge on the shield battery there to try and get him to pay attention to that instead. Nice little move here from GogojOey. He's not quite going to be successful, but he does get a couple of units for his troubles at the very least.
Overcharged shield battery giving that gateway juiced so the wall in stays strong, as ButAlways his Void Ray count gets up to obscene. And he's got +1 done for these Voids as well, so they're hitting a little bit harder. And they're going for the Queens again. Lots of energy on these Queens, so not really an engagement I think that the Protoss really wants. This Void Ray is getting a bum steer from high command.
Yeah, GogojOey's like, yeah, I'll take that. No worries, mate.
Yep, only 20 more to go.
Yeah. It's like you kill one and somehow there's an extra 50 behind that. Doesn't matter how many you kill, they just respawn like there's no tomorrow. Now, looks like Phase 2 is in the mix.
Yeah.
Those
Phase 2 of the
might
plan.
find him.
And I think Phase 3 is going to involve Hydralisks with +1 attack. So it looks like that's on the menu here for GogojOey. Yeah, it's crazy. So the Groove Spine upgrade going to be fantastic on creep for those Hydras. I don't think they have muscular augments just yet, so off creep they'll be a little bit slow and very committed to whatever attack they go for.
He just missed those Queens walking across the map too, by the way. The Void Rays just didn't quite see it. They'll see these couple of Hydras and that might tip him off. But now the Queen's already on his front doorstep. The Void Rays are actually out of position for this.
Yeah, I mean, the Queens do show up. The Void Rays are coming back home from the backside. Is there enough anti-air DPS here with the Hydras and the Queens combined and transfusions combined to burn down this army? The overcharged shield battery says no as it keeps a few of these Void Rays alive. The Oracles are gone. Void Rays pulling back. Overcharge is about to expire. Queens getting thinned out quite a lot. The Hydra count, I think, is down to 2 or 3 here on the front line. There's obviously more on the way, more being rallied in for GogojOey. Shield batteries have used all their energy here, so the Void Rays just using their own hit points. I guess there's a cannon in the backside if he really needs it, but at the moment, it looks like the Zerg is actually making a bit of progress here at the third base.
I love the usage of the Ravages here as well. It means that ButAlways can't just sit there and laser things down. He actually has to be a bit wary of where those biles are falling. Now he's got some charge lots warping in though, and that really complicates things for GogojOey. Right on the front lines, there's not a lot of buffer to protect the Queens, but I was going to say, are there enough Hydras to keep pressing the issue here? Doesn't look like it.
He's got a bunch of units on the right side disengaging, but a bunch of units on the left side rallying in. So it feels like GogojOey is being maybe a little bit indecisive with his army, and he pulls back to the edge of creep and losing all his Queens. I mean, what's his Queen count out right now? I mean, he's probably on like 4. Yeah, he's on 4 right now, which isn't good at all back at home. So he's very, very, very reliant on these Hydras to actually fight these Voids until the Queen counter gets up there again. He really just wanted this game to end a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? Like, just did not want to play that ultra late game. But unfortunately, he's bought himself a ticket to Frowntown as the Protoss is taking an even stronger lead here, heading towards Templar Tech as well. So he's respecting the fact that he needs a bit of a ground army. He can't just go pure Void. He actually probably can go pure Void, but he's going to go pure Void, or mostly Void, with a little bit of a ground army as well with Charge and Archons, because they're going to be a lot more useful against that Hydra Force.
Yeah, as GogojOey here, if you're going to go again, you need to kind of go now before Storm or Disruptors or something become a factor, because at that point, you really just don't have anything
Wow.
left. And he's already at the stage, excuse me, where he's going to start losing hatcheries just with the little snipes like that. A lot of those bow rays are bruised.
They are
But with
bruised,
shield batteries, it doesn't matter too much.
but they just killed the lair. So the lair's being remade here, and also this means the main base is not being mined from at the moment for GogojOey. So he's mining from 3 hatcheries against a Protoss that's mining from 4 bases. Not great, not ideal, suboptimal.
I feel like you can't. I would. I don't think it'll work anymore. But I feel like you also likewise can't sit at home and try and macro out of this, because economically you're already not looking great, and your opponent is starting to tech up. So you kind of need to get in there, but it's very scary and hard to judge whether or not you can take the fight. He did get his +1 finished. He has the range, and he also has the Hydra speed now. Maybe he goes when he gets that +2 attack.
I think that honestly the fact that GogojOey is committed so much to this early game and mid game has kind of bought himself a little bit of a tough time here going into the late stages, because the carriers are starting to get amassed here. Storm is on the way as well, and these are things that GogojOey is really not equipped to deal with. He has a window at the moment where his army potentially could do something, and that window is right now. So a lot more Hydras on the way, and a pretty convincing force here of Roach Ravager with a ton of Hydras on the front line.
God.
But when Storm is done, when carriers get out, it switches over into ButAlways' camp again.
That's not the biggest Protoss army. Unfortunately, the shield batteries are going to make it a little bit difficult. So are these force fields in this choke. But he does have a fair bit of damage here, and he's got enough roaches, I think, to buffer. Can he crack him, though? It's so hard for him to actually get in here. You can see him sort of dancing backwards and forwards and being like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's getting a couple Archons here. Very, very nice pickoffs. Important for the Zerg there. Transfusions have been spent on these Queens, so they don't have any energy left. They do still have a little bit of anti-air DPS, but it's mainly the Hydras. But this tiny little choke point is so tough. If you could get it, if you had a bit more of an open ground to fan these Hydras out into a concave and they're all fighting at once, maybe this is doable. But at the moment, I'm just not super convinced by this push from GogojOey, as the the shield batteries get back to having juice on them again, and Overcharge gets back off cooldown. These Archons can be back at full hit points again pretty quickly, and the carrier count, I mean, just gets higher and higher. +2 attacks, about to finish with the Archons. He already has +2 ship weapons. I'm so worried for GogojOey here.
I think what he needed was actually a group of these units to go over on that right side ramp and come in from 2 sides at once, because he was just funneling himself through this one choke. Fine, but that means ButAlways only has to put force fields in that one choke and focus on that one spot. And then he can just move back to the next. Now we've got carriers in the mix, and while GogojOey does have decent damage output because of those +2 Hydras, I feel like his ability to close the gap is almost gone. Maybe there's still a chance here. It's getting a bit out of hand in Protoss Town.
That's right. He's super mid-game focused, and the Protoss has gotten a lot of really powerful late-game units. And here's Storm, and that is just terrible for the Zerg to have to deal with Storm, as well as these carriers, as well as these Void Rays. Queen's coming in from the left side, but a really unconvincing attack. They go down, and ButAlways is just going to steamroll. GogojOey knows it. He taps, and the Protoss takes game 1.
Yeah. GG. I like it from GogojOey. Good plan. I think it could have worked, but it is really hard to judge those sort of attacks against the Protoss air army. And therein lies the problem for a lot of Zergs at the moment, because it's always that, just don't let him get to that mass Skytoss army kind of strategy. But in practice, it's not that simple.
Yeah, it's on paper, the Queen Walk can be really, really good. I feel like this map is one of those maps with the acceleration zones where the rush distance isn't as bad as you think it is. It looks big, but it's not that bad thanks to the acceleration zones. But the Queen Walk, I feel like it's been a while since I've seen it work, Zeph. I think that Protoss has gotten really good at handling it, but always one of the strongest things against the Queen Walk is actually to identify it and start getting out some disruptors and that sort of thing to complement your Void Rays against the units that really suck off creep speed-wise. But he didn't even need disruptors here. He just held on with shield battery with power of the charge lot and got to this death ball here in the end.
Yeah, I still feel like there was a window in that pre-carrier time after that big attack that we saw highlighted there in the middle, that he could have maybe done it, but it's just, as a Zerg player, you can never confidently know. Like, you don't have enough vision to 100% be like, yeah, I can take that fight. Also, Void Rays are being produced 3 at a time. It's just, it snowballs so quickly. So,
Does.
yeah, rough one from GogojOey, but I'm interested to see if that is his strategy from here on out to try and end it a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I don't blame him for it. Like, maybe he doesn't want to play that game, even though he ended up winning those games. He and the series. I don't blame him for just trying to get a bit of a fast, dirty win. But back to the drawing board for GogojOey as he finds himself one map lower than ButAlways in this series. We're gonna take a short break. When we return, can GogojOey tie it up? Let's find out together. Don't go away. We'll see you then. G'day, StarCraft fans. Welcome back to the Taiwanese region here in the Hong Kong, Macau region as well. We've got GogojOey representing Hong Kong going up against Taiwan's ButAlways. Will ButAlways be denied his top 4 place here by GogojOey? Well, GogojOey's going to have to start winning maps if that's the case. Zeph, what do you think?
I think it's entirely possible. I mean, he's already won one series. However, So far, our theory of ButAlways being a little bit stronger of a player, a little bit more consistent, is holding true. But GogojOey definitely had his moments in map number 1. So, I don't know. We could have the full 3 games from these guys. Anything could happen. Flip a coin. I actually don't know who to pick anymore after that first one. I'm like, it just as well could be our Zerg player.
Yeah. It is a tough one to pick. You know, that I again, like I think a lot of us, or did all of us actually pick ButAlways to win this series. But I do think that it is one of those ones that could go the distance depending on strategic choices here. I think the next map is 2,000 atmospheres, if I'm not mistaken, which is, I was going to say another map that you can guys sky toss on. But I think every map you can do that. So it doesn't really speak a whole lot. We'll see what, ButAlways is almost certainly going sky toss here. It's just how he likes to play this matchup. Or it has been the way that he's been playing this matchup for years now. This guy, I feel like, is the one that we got our eyes on to see what he is going to do to react to that. In the bottom left, representing Hong Kong, this is GogojOey.
And over here in the bottom right, this is our blue Protoss, ButAlways.
That's right. Misspoke on the map pool there. So it's not 2,000 atmospheres for game 2. This is Blackburn. One of the maps where we have a gold base on it, and GogojOey could potentially try and utilize that. But again, like I feel like it's pretty... I like this map a lot for Protosses against Zerg. I feel like I've seen Protoss win more against Zerg in the games and the tournaments we've been watching on this map in particular. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that, when you do get up to that gold base, the backside of those minerals are so exposed, and it only takes a couple of depths to really super shut it down. I mean, the same deal for Zerg as well, if they've got roaches and ravages and that kind of thing. But, generally you're more reliant on your melee units and that sort of thing in the early stages for Zerg. Roaches and ravages come later. But, so the probe comes in for a scout. A little bit of a block in the natural. I mean, the GogojOey just went straight to the third, didn't even bother dealing with the probe as it came across the map.
Yeah, I think more standard players just treat the gold as their regular 4th base or something. We did actually see earlier in Oceania and rest of Asia, me and Micah go straight for that gold base, of course, like as you'd expect.
Of course.
But I think you do have to play a specific style to make it work. He is a hyper-aggressive player, and he always has lings out on the map. Whether it's technically like the quote-unquote right time to do it or not, like he's quite happy to sacrifice drone production for that, and it actually worked out really well because it turned out that the Protoss couldn't harass him because he just had so much stuff out, and having the gold base, it makes up for it. So I think if you are actually going to go for that gold base early on, you need to have a strategy like that in mind. You can't just sort of do it because you feel like it, especially when you're coming up against a guy who you know is going to go Stargate and who has a much closer rush distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have a pretty short rush distance as far as A to B is concerned, but an even shorter one via air, which is why there's these slow zones. What do you want to call them? Inhibitor zones, that's what they're called, in between the mains from A to B. The Stalker just kind of walks into the natural here. This is an interesting strategy from ButAlways. Scouting Stalker, guys.
He's actually going to be able to get a worker kill or two.
No.
Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it's lost mining time. Not a huge amount, but... Why?
It's like the most expensive early game unit, apart from an Oracle. That was...
Damn.
Questionable at best there from ButAlways, but okay, moving on.
For his sake, I was hoping he'd get a worker or two. I was like, oh, surely, like, you want to get some return for investment, but okay, cool. We've got the Oracle coming up here. No surprises there. He may go 1 or 2 before he slips into those void rays that he likes so much.
Indeed. Yeah, Oracle coming across the map there through the inhibitor zone. The Oracle actually confirmed by the Overlord as well, but GogojOey already had the Spore up. He's got Queen in position, ready to zone back that Oracle, and also dropping that Spore at the third base. Well, going the one in the natural? No, he's actually getting one in the natural as well, getting Spore in every single mineral line. So really taking the Stargate early game seriously here. Straight into Fleet Bacon and a Phoenix? Oh my goodness.
Wow. Okay.
That's not a Void Ray.
Yeah, weird. I forgot what that unit was called for a sec.
It's Phoenix. Rises from the ashes. Now, it might just be the one Phoenix, but, you know, with an intention to be tricky against GogojOey. The fleet beacon has been detected. Zerg has not clicked on it just yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knows what he's up against, whether or not he fully sees it. It's just the question is what flavor of double Stargate
Right. Yeah,
is it going to be?
It's ButAlways. So you're, again, you know, we're talking about playing the matchup and then versus playing the player. ButAlways is rushing to carriers here, getting carriers about as quickly as you possibly can in PvZ without being silly, you know, doing it on one base or something like that. I mean, damn, it might just work. Oh, a little bit of a zig when he should have zagged there on that Oracle. Loses that to the Queens.
Yeah, going for carrier really fast. Like, when you screw it up, you look like the biggest idiot ever. Of course that would work. What did you think this was? Gold League?
All right.
But because it's sort of... like its power increases so quickly, like you go 2, 4, then 6, and it starts to be a real problem. The Zerg goes, well, hang on.
Yeah.
I actually don't have anything that can kill this. And then you can't actually stop it from getting out of control.
I actually like the Spire response here against the carrier. You know, normally I like Hydras against Void Rays and that sort of thing, and Spire can obviously work against Void Rays as well in some regards, but I do like the Spire against the carrier. I think that GogojOey has figured out what ButAlways is up to. You actually see the shadow of what's being built in Stargate with your Overlord, and I think he might have seen the shape of the carrier there on that Stargate in the back of the natural. Maybe. Not 100% on that, but yeah. I like you said, what is this, Gold League? And you know what? There's a bunch of people in Twitch chat that think that, but there are also people that would never win a map against either of these people ever. So, you know, you take what chat says with a grain of salt. Right?
To be fair, everyone in Twitch chat is GM. So
yeah, if you put the MMRs of everyone in Twitch chat together, we have like 12 GMs out there. That's true.
All right, the classic 6-minute 32 carrier harass coming in, and he's actually coming in with some ground units as well. And this is deceptively difficult to deal with because you're not necessarily expecting it. And, you know, the Queens are now busy dealing with this Zealot threat, so they can't really be here helping out against the carriers.
And the Spores are moved forward in the sense that they're going to be able to thin out the Interceptors. The Adepts actually kind of break off from the pack, and they're shaving into the drone count there at the 3rd hatchery. This is such an awkward fight to watch, by the way. Just the carriers just sitting there and letting the Interceptors do the work, but they are getting some Queen kills. They've killed that one Spore, forcing another one to come out of the mineral line a little bit further out and creep to the edge of the main base to engage the carriers directly, hitting the mothership, well, not the mothership, but like the main part of the carrier instead of the Interceptors. And, I mean, Zerg holds, and now, you know, we're in a situation where the carriers are being amassed, forcing out Corruptors, which is also making ButAlways switching into Void Rays look really smart, and he's setting up those shield batteries. Like we said, he's a proxy shield battery enthusiast.
Dude, I love it. I mean, you just know that in choosing Blackburn, he knew this is precisely what he wanted to do with his time here.
Oh,
and it's working out really well. Now, like you said, the Spire choice is nice, and the reason for that is Corruptors, you need them against carriers, right? And you need to kind of nip carriers in the bud before they become like too powerful. The thing is that the transition to Void Rays 3 at a time is already happening. So it's a really difficult thing to respond to with the tech switching here. And now he's built himself a little static D empire. So how is GogojOey do you break this?
I mean, getting a giant ball of Corruptors seems like a good call, but, you know, the Void Ray count's getting higher and higher. The Void Rays have already got +1 attack. And the Queens with transfusions and the Corruptors together seem like a pretty good call here from GogojOey, but they're out of transfusions. Gets one Void Ray kill here. Every Void Ray kill is a step towards the GogojOey column because that makes the Corruptors really start to look good.
Yeah, you've basically just got a Corruptor Queen composition for GogojOey. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a few more Zealots come in for that reason, because he doesn't have anything that can immediately respond to that kind of harassment. So while he pokes around with this little area that he's built himself here, he can still be trying to pick off drones in the other bases. I think he might actually have a small squad of Lings somewhere, but, you know, against Zealots, it has limited effectiveness.
These slow Zealots are a little bit questionable. I kind of get it, you know, that they are an annoying unit that the Queen kind of has to respect a little bit and has to micro back against. But that, you know, without charge, I feel like these Zealots are kind of just meeting the wall of Queen. They're not going to get a whole lot done here. Corruptors, being zoned back there by those Void Rays very nicely there by ButAlways. These Interceptor count maxes out on these carriers. Shield batteries also amassing energy. And
Oh,
Here we are,
always.
guys. StarCraft.
Never change, man.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Continue with the air weapons. He's got 3 base up happily operating there. He could think about 4th in a little bit because GogojOey doesn't have anything that can really harass or counterattack. He could go for the Corruptor Zap on a Nexus or something, but
Ooh.
the second he leaves, you can probably bet that this air army is just going to swoop in and start wreaking havoc.
Oh,
As
man.
it is, he's not able to gain any ground here. He can't really target much down because of the shield batteries.
These prismatically aligned Void Rays are also, I feel like, you know, GogojOey's maybe misjudging the amount of Corruptors he has against the amount of air units that ButAlways has. As ButAlways is you know, down a little bit in supply, but that's only in workers. His army is actually quite powerful, and he just got +2 attack. +2 range just finished, but that's only really helping out the Queens. The Corruptors here only got +1 attack. They do have armor, but that's when they can the Void Rays even that extra little bit powerful for them when they commit to the prismatically aligned part of the equation. And he's making 4 Void Rays at once as GogojOey heads towards Hive, starts getting towards tier 3. What do you think the plan is with, I mean, with Hive, almost certainly going straight to Vipers, right?
Yeah, surely you have to. I mean, you need like Viper Infestor in there, I feel like, ultimately to try and
Goodbye,
make this
Hatchery.
work. Yeah, hope you didn't want to mine from that, Burr. Sorry. Oh,
Same
nice. He
deal with
actually
the
does get
Corruptors,
the
yeah.
cancel there.
Get 6 o'clock with the Corruptors. I mean, 6 o'clock is a powerful base, unless the Zerg makes air units. Because it's got those blocks blocking it.
And if the Void Rays want to harass, that's
See ya.
the one opportunity that he gets to take it out too.
Wow. The Nexus being reattempted here by ButAlways. GogojOey's Force Expiration will cool down so shortly. You can deny that again. The Queen's actually marching out to get rid of this proxy location, this offensive static offense of cannon and shield battery. Oh my god, the Corruptor's getting minced by the Voids and the Interceptors there a little bit. They got to pull back to their Queens.
Hold up though, that is actually a pretty nice amount of Corruptors.
It
If he
is.
can start targeting things down, that's a lot of Queens too. Not a whole lot of Transfuse available though. Oh, okay, I don't know about this attack anymore.
Yeah, the prismatic alignment on the Void Rays is just insane how that damage just stacks up and snowballs through those Corruptors. We can see a big army supply advantage now for ButAlways. GogojOey, for the second time in this game, has misjudged the engagement and has lost way too many units. ButAlways here with a 32, just now moved over, army supply advantage, which is absolutely massive considering the units he's making almost directly counter what GogojOey's been building this whole game.
Yeah, this is really rough. I think GogojOey's done a good job at continuing to expand and pump out Queens, but ultimately he's not gaining any ground against this ButAlways army. It's just too powerful. He's about to have +3 air, and he's right on his front doorstep.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like this is a kind of a done deal here, unfortunately, for GogojOey, who got the victory on him earlier in the group stages. I don't see how he beats this army anymore. That static offense is being replaced here by this probe. And, oh man, the air army is not getting weaker. It is just getting more and more powerful. +3 attack now on these Void Rays and on these Interceptors. Getting really, really confident here as ButAlways as he just marches straight over the static defense of the Zerg. Chases these Corruptors. They cannot run. They cannot hide. The Sky Toss power of ButAlways too strong this time against GogojOey, who's just bleeding units.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's just obscene when you see it in action. You see them right-click on a hatchery like that. Everything evaporates. GG from GogojOey, ButAlways with a clean 2-0 win.